Hey, everybody. It is St. Patrick's Day, and we have a show. It's not a holiday. It's not one that we take off. We have a Hake's preview going on this evening, but I hope everybody had a fun day. Maybe a fun evening planned. I mean, there's always something going on St. Patrick's Day. Thought about bringing some green beer, but we're all out of beer here tonight, so we had to go with a Zevia ginger ale flavor. Let me bring in, let's bring in Alex, because Alex is the guy who always wrangles these things. We'll get him started here. So you got a green Yeti shirt on? What is that?
Green Yeti is a three-piece doom metal band out of Greece. It formed in 2014, and they have three awesome albums out. If you were into, it's a mix of early Black Sabbath and 90s Caius. Very awesome doom metal, if that's your thing.
No, I can't say doom metal's my thing, but I like the shirt though, and the name is cool.
Yeah.
All right, let's bring in one gentleman we've seen before, but let's bring in the guy that we haven't seen before, which is Mike Bollinger. Nice to meet you, Mike.
Happy to be here. Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Thank you. I'm glad you wore green as well. So tell me, are you at home? Is this like your office at the Hakes facility with all those figures behind you?
No, I'm at home. It mirrors my office at work. So what there's room for at home is at home, and what's room for at work is at work.
Very nice. Now you help out with every division within Hakes, or how does that work out?
I do a lot of the cataloging for the auction catalogs. So a good portion of the art. You've seen Todd Sheffer's been on here before. He and I pretty much handle the comic art and a lot of other stuff too.
Very cool. Now, let me bring in the other gentleman from Hakes, whom we never see enough of this guy, Sean Rutan. He found a green shirt just before the show, but you are muted right now, Sean.
That was by choice.
Yeah, well, I was doing everybody a favor. Try to switch back to my Lucky Red podcast sweatshirt. So I can switch for the third time tonight. So
well, you can do as many costume changes as you want.
We later. Let's see how it plays out. Need more holiday themed heroes.
Awesome. So Sean, we have to, we were disappointed that we didn't see you at OAX. I do have to let you know that there were several people who were at the show who said, "Where the heck is Sean?" And I said I didn't know.
Yeah, I have the John Madden thing going on where I hate to fly. So unlike John Madden, I don't have a bus. So that's really what the answer is.
Mm-hmm.
Last time I went to Florida, I drove 16 hours straight. So I promise I will make a trip. I will promise at some point in my life I will be there. So
February next year.
Yes.
Just remember that.
Okay, good.
And Mike, what about you? You should make the trip down sometime too.
I'll have to make it down at some point. Yeah. Usually pass.
No, I was just saying you do a number of conventions for us. It just normally during that period he's finalizing descriptions for the catalog, but the February date may be more conducive to him. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. There you go. And 99 has just put a face to Sean. That's a good thing. Sean's always offering nice art for sale from his personal collection, but we're here to talk about the Hakes art for sale that you guys have. We have a lot of art to look at. So how did it all come about? I mean, this seems like a bit more than usual, Alex.
How did it all come about? By luck, as it always. I mean, really, we end an auction and we'll have some stuff for the next auction, but certainly not a full auction. And then it's a 2-3 month process of just getting the word out, doing shows, sending emails, doing social media, and seeing what shows up. So that's why it's always different. It's nice that we have such a diverse catalog because sometimes art and comics are heavier than political and sports and vice versa and action figures. So it's always a mix of things. And it's really just a matter of what shows up in that 3-month period from one auction to the next that makes it into one of the premier auctions, which we're here to talk about now.
Fantastic. Yeah, there's we're going to be starting things off with some Star Wars art that I knew you were, even heck, it seems like 3 or 4 months ago, you knew that it was sort of coming up and we talked about it here or there.
That was, we actually had this when we did the last show. We're about to get it. So that, that was nice to have that sort of already there. We knew it was going to be at OAX. We had the Aurora art at OAX that we'll talk about. So we had a nice rotation of art that was already here. And for that show, to show it off in person, which was nice. But then things did come even after that. We did get some great pieces in already for the July premiere auction, which once we do a wrap of this auction we can talk about. So yeah, things are moving along on art. We've got some interesting pieces this time for the future. For this show, we'll start off with the Star Wars art, which is key of the art section this time. Then I have Marvel. Then we'll go into DC. Then I think we're doing illustration art, other publishers, some miscellaneous art at the end, and then a couple wild card non-art pieces at the end. So you now know the order. If you're watching this and it isn't live and you want to skip ahead, feel free to do so. But I suggest you watch the whole show.
Exactly. All right. Well, Mike, people were congratulating you on all the effort that goes into the catalogs. They know how much time you and Todd put into that stuff.
Yeah, a lot of typing, a lot of formatting.
Do you have like an editor, or do you guys you're your own editor?
It's a mix. We look over some of our stuff. I'll look over Todd's stuff. He'll look over mine, and other people in the building will look over just to look for typos and things that have obviously been left out.
Let's not forget the boss. The boss comes in and has the final say on proofing.
Yes, Alex makes everything look as good.
Boss, that's not me. That's Heather. That's my wife.
That's Heather?
Yeah. Director of administration. No, she does. She'll do the final proof, and then she is involved in the corrections and so forth too before we send the blue line to the printer. So yeah, it definitely is a team. As with everything we do, it's a team effort. Some team members do more than others. I see Todd just popped up. He would be one of the ones that does less than some. I mean, he and Kelly couldn't even be here tonight. So what does that say?
Hope Todd and Kelly are feeling better.
Todd's in the chat. We haven't seen Kelly yet in the chat though. So want to get started? We can start. Sure. We play that video because you did some video PR pieces for some of the lots that you guys have, and the first one is from the Star Wars issue 1 page that you've got, and it was enjoyable. I watched it a couple times just to get that. Who does the video editing?
That's John. He's one of our newer hires. He is taking over social media. Mike was doing that as well as everything else, and we had to get some stuff off of his plate. So John's now doing social media, and he is the videographer and puts these little sizzle reels and promo clips and so forth together. And this one in particular, I think he did a great job. It's really cool so this is very historic because it's a page from the first issue of Marvel's Star Wars comic series, the 6-issue adaptation. And it has scenes that actually appear in the movie. It has dialogue that actually appears in the movie and some differences as well. But what John did was kind of match that up, and you'll see when you watch this how it all syncs up.
All right, well, let's bring it up on screen here, and we'll play the video, and then we'll start talking about the artwork.
Any attack made by the rebels against this station would be a useless gesture, no matter what technical data they've obtained. This station is now the ultimate power in the universe. I suggest we use it.
Don't be too proud of this technological terror you've constructed. The ability to destroy a planet is insignificant next to the power of the Force.
Don't try to frighten us with your sorcerer's ways, Lord Vader. Your sad devotion to that ancient religion has not helped you conjure up the stolen data tapes, or given you clairvoyance enough to find the rebels' hidden fort.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
Enough of this. Vader, release him.
As you wish.
This bickering is pointless. Now, Lord Vader will provide us with the location of the rebel fortress by the time this station is operational. We will then crush the rebellion with one swift stroke.
Wake up! Wake up!
We're doomed. You think they'll melt us down? Don't shoot, don't shoot. Will this never end?
There you go. Let me get these guys back in here and we'll be all set. There we go. So fun. So it takes a little bit of effort to pull all that together, but you do have a good page there.
Yeah. So, anybody that knows Howard Chaykin's art for the adaptation issues, they're few and far between. So the fact that we have several other pages that we'll talk about, plus some covers for the UK Weekly, this is as monumental an offering of Star Wars adaptation Marvel issues that's ever happened at one time. So, but this is the lead off. This is the key. Mike, if you want to, again, you did the description for this. If you want to add anything.
Yeah, it's you just do not see art from the adaptation issues, let alone issue 1. Such a pivotal scene. I mean, so Jeff made a comment about Vader getting a cup of coffee using the Force. Made sure to mention in the description. I just thought that. But yeah, this Howard Chaykin art from original Marvel Star Wars issues doesn't get better than that.
Yeah, this is a really nice page, and like you said, they don't come up that often.
Mhm.
Kavi mentioned it's already at 17K. So I mean,
anybody that got the catalog, that's the front cover piece. So important enough to do that.
Does Vader have a coffee hole in his mask? I never
Uses the Force charm.
What a nice little detail. I've never seen that before. If you hadn't brought that to my
he's a
attention,
barista. He's actually made that for someone else in the room.
Yeah, it's
big.
Yeah. Hence Starbucks.
There you go. Aha. See, I bet that wasn't written into the description at all.
in the initial draft. It was.
Yeah.
It was.
Had to nix that.
All right. Oh man, but yeah, this is cool. I mean, and we didn't even talk about end date, start date. Everything's up for auction right now. The bid people can bid, all of that. But when do these lots start ending? I know we're about it's just over 9 days, so it is not or it is 9 days. So we're talking
so we'll close
Wednesday.
Next Tuesday and Wednesday.
Tuesday and
so
Wednesday, all right.
The 25th will be the historical, political, sports. The 26th will be the art, comics, entertainment, action figures. So yeah, Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. Everything starts to close at 9 Eastern.
Very cool. And he's drinking out of a paper cup, or no, it's probably like a solo cup or something, right?
Styrofoam.
See, it's a solo cup. There's the puns are riding tonight here on Comic Car Live channel. All right. So and I'm surprised Marcus, did he get that before me? No, he didn't. All right. All right. Well, that's one everybody's going to be curious to see where it goes, right? I mean, even Howard Chaykin might be tuning in to see where that one goes.
For sure.
Oh man, what? Right? I mean, you never know. I mean, he's brought a few Star Wars related characters. Some of the art drops we've done. So I know he still keeps tabs on things somewhat. But this next page, you guys have a value estimate between 10 and 20 on it. This is from what issue is this one from? This is it was issue 5. Correct. And let me go ahead and zoom in on this one.
So all of the Star Wars art, published art that we have this time, comes from one collection that was previously, not known to exist. These are all new discoveries. The person bought them many, many years ago. They were a fan of Howard's artwork, but they acquired some other Star Wars art and some other art as well. But primarily, they focused on Howard. And I won't go into the details because it's a crazy story of how they were found, how they still even exist. So we're all very fortunate to be seeing them right now because they could have easily not survived in the climate they were in. So again, not only is it incredible that we have all of this at one time, but that it's all from one collection, one owner.
Yeah, all the Chaykin art in this auction is from one consignor.
No, and they've had it for quite some time too.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. And as great as the page we show from issue 1, this is fantastic too. And so is the next that we're going to show. I mean, we really have some incredible pages as far as character content, film scenes, importance to the Star Wars mythos, everything.
This page and the next lot are back-to-back pages, so rarely do you see these pages by themselves, let alone, I believe it's page 15 and 16.
Mm-hmm. Now, is this a consignor that you worked with before, or they came
Nope.
directly to you for the art? Wow.
Brand new, out of the blue. Yeah. One of those situations where it almost sounds too good to be true, and normally it is. And in this case, it wasn't. It was actually better than we could have expected.
Oh, that's awesome. I want to see the next page then. What do we got here? Close that one. Loading it up. There we go. Yeah, that's nice. Huh.
And again, we would have been happy to have, any one of these in the auction. So to have just starting with these 3 in a row, it shows you the caliber of the Star Wars art this time.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And will they be consigning more with you is the real question. You never know, right? Sometimes with collectors.
Yeah, to be determined.
Mm-hmm. Jeff Wedding says Luke is still dreamy-eyed for his sister. He does kind of have those dreamy eyes, doesn't he, Jeff? Jeff is probably the well, can we say he's the biggest Star Wars fan in the chat? I don't know. It's fairly. I think we can say that. He knows a thing or two about the Star Wars universe. Yeah, that's cool. Sean, what about you, man? I know. Are you a Star Wars fan?
When it comes to this level of art, yes, for sure. And I love the movies. I just, as long as I don't have to see little kids in their bowl cuts, I'm a happy man. So I no complaints here at all, buddy. This is cream of the crop for original art collecting for sure, man. This is and the thing I like about the pages, number one, you got obviously Vader in the iconic scene. You got the droids, but I like the fact that it's basically a mix of all the characters in the 3 pages, which is great. You kind of pick your poison there. Obviously, it'd be nice to own all 3 of them, but if you had to choose, at least you got a wide range of things to pick from, which I like it a lot. And I like the details. Like I like the porthole coming out of the front of the Millennium Falcon there, looking into space. I think that looks great. And then the earlier page, he widened out the eyes, and whatever he did, whatever decision that was, whether it was the artist or the editors, I think the improvement on Leia's eyes were great and very emotive. So those little details to me kind of speak for these 2 pages. And then obviously the first one, there's only so many pages from issue number 1 to go around. You got the Vader choke scene. That's pretty tough to beat that one. So these are exciting to see.
I'm with you there. Jeff says he's actually paying more attention to the Star Wars issue 9 page just for Jackson. So let's see here. What was this one at too? I didn't even check. Okay, so it doesn't have a bid yet. Starting at 5, and it's a 10 to 20 as well. Let's close this, and now we can go over to the 9 page here. Again by Howard. Oh, that's cool. Busy in all the right ways. That's a great page.
And apropos for today, if you are into green rabbits, this is the page for you.
Yeah, I got to switch and look over at the, there's the cover. And then there we go. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, some of the guys might be seeing green rabbits by the end of the night, but no, this is nice. It's really nice.
Yeah, again, it's different from the other 3, so it's really real great variety.
Yeah, no, it's a nice page. You got some Zipatone in there, some white. That's cool. Don't see that too often. Well, that's nice. Well, you guys, you've cornered the market on old Star Wars art. That's a good thing. I'm sure it's pushing up some of the page views, internal metrics, and stuff like that you guys can pay attention to.
Well, I mean, we have the nice crossover. It's every auction we have an incredible selection of vintage Star Wars action figures and toys and so forth. So
Mhm.
there is some crossover between Star Wars collectors and art and comic collectors and so forth. So that's again why we like to have such an eclectic mix of things. We have collectors in all of these different areas. Some are unique to just one thing, like art, and then others will a Star Wars collector that wants to go deep. They can get comics this auction. They can get toys. They can get movie posters. They can get original art.
Yeah, that's well, that's a fantastic page. Now, I was gonna say, I know you have some covers.
Yeah, so this is important to talk about. This is the Star Wars Weekly, so that's the UK publication.
Mhm.
In the UK, they had the adaptation span over 12 weeks versus 6 weeks in the US, which means they had 12 covers and not 6 covers, but some overlapped. So I think, Mike, if my math is right, 4 covers were used for both, 8 were unique to the UK.
Yeah.
This is unique to the UK, and it's not just any cover. This is, again, a pivotal and memorable part of the Star Wars film. Yeah, Mike, you want to elaborate any?
Yeah, and Gil Kane. I mean, when it comes to Star Wars outside of Chaykin, you got Gil Kane. That whole era, it's garbage compactor scene. You've got Luke and Han and stormtrooper outfits. Leia's there, Chewie's there, and then the monster grabbing Luke.
Yeah, this is great. And classic Gil Kane anatomy, noses, all that stuff that you want from a Gil Kane artwork. And yeah, like you say, very memorable scene with the trash compactor.
Although Chewie on this looks more like my Green Yeti than Chewie.
He does kind of, right? Well, I don't think even you look at how Chaykin was drawing some of the characters too, right? I mean, you wonder how much reference material they really had to work with getting started, right? I mean, they had to have some, clearly. I mean, but they definitely kind of added their own sort of look and feel to it. I mean, you're right. Chewie doesn't look like the way Howard drew him in that second page, right, where he was in the first panel. So yeah, they're all still figuring it out.
Keep in mind we were talking about how rare the pages are from the 6-issue adaptation. Covers are even rare. Find an adaptation of US or UK. These do not come up, and you only have a handful to even choose from if and when they become available. So this is as much as I like the page from issue 1, this is right there as well, just because of how dynamic it is.
I didn't know that about the covers where they had 12 and they were unique scenes for the ones that weren't overlapping. That was
eight.
So the scene doesn't exist in the US. So
no, correct. There were 4 that were used. Number 1, but there were 4 that were used in the UK, and then there are 8 that are unique to the UK run.
And this is the only cover for a Star Wars Weekly from that adaptation to come to market.
Correct.
That's also important to note because these they do not turn out, let alone the adaptation.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, very nice. Different consigner with the covers.
No, all the Star Wars is the same.
Oh, same. Wow. So it wasn't just that they lucked out and found Howard Chaykin at some show in Poughkeepsie, in the early '80s or something, and he still had some pages. This was really, yeah.
I had the story right from Kelly. Howard was the favorite, but I guess because this was available at the same time, and as Mike said, there's some other Howard pages coming up and some other art from them as well. But the primary focus was on Howard Star Wars art, and then this is sort of a nice bonus.
Well, that's great, really nice. So let's see, we got this is from issue 15. Zoom in on that one here. I still think this looks a little bit like your T-shirt, Alex. The more Yeti feel, but I mean, hey, that's what we had. The references they had back then were what did the Yeti or a Sasquatch look like? But another really awesome cover here. Shoot.
Yeah, you can definitely see where this influenced like Ukla the Mock and all the knockoffs of the era. Kind of the same vibe. It's cool.
Now this is Ackland, right?
Yeah, Jeff.
Yeah, this is pretty cool.
It's like the aliens in the background. They're just trying to have a drink at the bar, and there's a bar fight breaking out.
Even a droid, it looks like
Yeah.
they're all
Mm-hmm.
they're holding the bar up. Why not, right? No, so this is May. It's the date's on it, May 17th, 1978. Powerful toes, says Tom. Okay. All right, Jeff. Don't you can't just listen to it. Don't watch us while you're driving home. Thanks for tuning in. This is cool. I mean, this is again, these are great to see, having them all in one set like that. And I assume, like you mentioned, you have a lot of supplemental Star Wars material in the auction as well. I imagine, like that isn't just artwork.
No, I think there's something like 300 Star Wars items this time, primarily action figures and toys. But again, there is some movie posters and art, some comics. So yeah, a nice mix.
All right, now this is 22, issue 22 cover.
So
Tony,
this will wrap up the Marvel art that we're going to show. This is and we've shown, there are some other pages too. We didn't show everything here, but we did show all the covers. So this will be the last cover we have for this auction.
Yeah, this is awesome too. Tony, Zuniga, pick your poison. I never know. Sean, what's your vote? Sean's muted still.
No, I don't know. I'm not sure. So it's the old Sienkiewicz thing. If he doesn't have a website that spells it out for you, then he sounds stupid.
I've always said Zuniga, but
Zuniga. I always did Zuniga, but then Berkey always says Zuniga or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I think we've talked about this before. There's like a list of 10 guys, like Fred Kita. Which one is, so yeah, he's on the list.
Right. Well, if he had a Facebook page, we could see if he did the little pronunciation thing that you do when you spell it out, for how to pronounce your name. But either way, no, this is a really nice piece too. Yeah, you guys are fortunate to have all of these, and again, it's just awesome that one collector was able to pull all this stuff together, back in the day too, and hold on to it for as long as they did.
Yeah, 40 years probably. It's crazy. I agree.
Yeah,
great collection.
All right, so that was issue 22 cover. So got its opening bid on there at 5. All right, now this is from the Star Wars Holiday Special.
Yes, I'll let Mike talk about this, but this is an incredibly important and significant and historical piece of Star Wars art.
Yeah, I mean, how many Boba Fett fans are out there? I mean, this is the introduction to Boba Fett. Unless you were at the parade, Star Wars Christmas Holiday Special was the introduction to Boba Fett for many of us. And this here, you're not going to find a much better animation cell setup. I mean, than you got right here. I mean, there he is, Boba Fett in all his glory. He's got some stormtroopers with elongated snouts behind him there, and painted background. I mean, it's animation art at its finest.
And production. Don't get this
production. Yeah,
there are similar, Sears cells, small produced cells. Yeah. This is the real deal used in the Christmas special, which, as Mike said, for all intents and purposes, was the debut of Boba Fett before Empire Strikes Back.
Yep.
And the parade he mentioned that was some goofy parade in, was it California? California.
Santa Rosa, I think.
There was actually, people in costume that went through this parade, and one was Boba Fett next to Darth Vader. No one had any idea who Boba Fett was, because this was after Star Wars and before this special and before Empire. So it was just goofy that's really his debut, but this is the official, media debut of Boba Fett.
Very cool. And I like the background has like a Mobius kind of feel to the way they're
for sure
handling the environments, which makes a lot of sense. I'm certain that there's a lot of artistic influences that Lucas was drawing from, with the characters and the other artwork that was around there. We know he loved Westerns and comics and everything. So, that's just nice to see.
I can't believe this is surfacing. I dabble in animation too, and you just never see that stuff.
We actually have like a dozen pieces of Star Wars animation, I think. None as significant or important as this. Again, I don't want to get it mixed up with some of the other pieces. All very nice, but this is head and heels above any Star Wars animation art that we have.
Yeah, and the earliest.
Yeah.
The other stuff is droids from the animated series.
Mm-hmm.
This is the earliest animation art.
How many assets you got? Boba Fett on one layer, stormtroopers on the other, and then
Yep, and well, you've got Boba Fett on the top, stormtroopers on the second, and then the printed black line is the third, on, and then you have the painted background.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Multi-cell setup.
Yep, 3-cell. Mm-hmm.
And it's got a Lucasfilm stamp, so you know it came right from them.
Yeah, I wonder when they sold that. Some auction back in 1987 or something. It's
right, exactly. Lucas wishes he could get them all back, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
What was he thinking? Especially now that you open a museum and then you're kicking yourself. For,
it started with Disney in the 30s and 40s. Kavase galleries, they would sell Disney cells, sometimes with production backgrounds or painted backgrounds. So, and some went to art galleries and things. So, it's not uncommon for this to happen. Certainly wouldn't happen today or at the price point that these things sold for then, right? That would be much higher. But yeah.
Well, it's again nice to see. Now, is this same consigner, or are we moving into other people?
All the animation is from a different one consigner, okay. I believe. Yeah.
Well, the timing just works out. You get all this great Star Wars artwork that kind of falls within the same kind of collector base that's interested in it, because a lot of CAF collectors obviously collect animation art. Sean just mentioned that he's into it. I've got at least, well, I have like 6 cells of my own and about 30 My Little Ponies for my daughters. But yeah, I mean it's out there and you see it at the shows and it's fun to collect.
That's funny because Sean has My Little Pony art, but it's for himself.
So you guys are Sunbow art. Even My Little Pony is tough to find. So if I could find it, I would buy it.
I'm gonna send you one, Sean. My kids won't shed a tear if I send one of those ponies.
You got to get the Sunbow, not the yes.
Oh man! All right, well that's cool. And you said so. There's a few others, but this is the one that's most significant from the animation pieces that you've got. All right, we're moving out of the Star Wars. It wasn't a 100% Star Wars show, everybody, as far as the artwork that's available. This one's this is a West Coast Avengers 33 cover, Al Milgrom, and Ape Attack, Wonder Man to the Rescue. Let me zoom in on this one.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah. I like the the minimalist approach on these apes. The way they're just kind of focusing in on the feet and the hair on the arms and stuff, just to kind of give it form. Kind of makes it a little dynamic. But Wonder Man's got that one ape by the lower jaw. That's tough. He's he's not being, but he doesn't fight fairly at all. He that's tough, man. But
it's a bottom jaw fish hook. You're right. Didn't you notice it? Now, I have not seen it. Did they release the new Wonder Man TV show yet? With
not yet.
The guy who played Black Manta, I think, is playing a character. I'm looking forward to that. I want to see that.
If you scroll down there, Bill, to me, this is, that's the part I like. I like that cast of characters.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I've got a few West Coast Avengers pages with Milgrom involved in them. It was a fun read, right? It was just kind of off the wall for the period, and the stories were always enjoyable. And so this kind of it's a little campy, but it's fun. It's awesome.
Yep, it's cool to see. Anytime an '80s Avengers, be it West Coast or main line, it's exciting to see it.
Marcus notes that the apes had the same hairstyle as Wonder Man. It's kind of close, yeah.
A little bit.
Go to the same barber.
Same mullet barber.
No, this is awesome. Very inked by Macklin too, so a very nice period piece.
I saw a remake of this. I think it's on CAF.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was a known artist, pretty well known guy, Kevin McGuire maybe. Can't remember who it was, but it's like, wow, this is cool. It's actually
Bit of recreation. Oh, I'll
Yes,
check it out.
Yeah.
Make a note to look for that. Always fun, but no, this is great. What'd you guys put as your estimate on this one? I want to see. 10 to 20, it's at 68.75. Makes sense to me. And it's whenever we have we talk about like the pulp covers and stuff, they always use yellow as what we've learned because it's eye catching on the shelf.
Mhm.
So stands to
Too
reason.
many yellow.
Yeah, put a lot of yellow on there. You can't miss that. Yeah, that's awesome.
You miss the apes, the yellows get you.
Oh man, very cool. Let's see. Next up, interior page. This is giant size superheroes. Spider-Man #1, another Gil Kane, Spidey versus Man-Wolf. I mean, this is an awesome page. This is when I was pulling up the slides. Instead of just loading them all up, I got to this one. I was like, oh, I got to check this one out because the action's great. I mean, it's a fantastic page.
Last we checked, this was, of all the art that we posted for this auction, this was right up there on CAF with most amount of views. So everyone's sort of taking a look at this page.
It doesn't surprise me. I mean, tons of Spidey fans out there, and this was such a memorable book for those of us buying, comics off the newsstands, during this era. So, now this is great. The cover of this book was awesome. Made you buy it. Huh. Yeah, that's
love
really
those two side-by-side panels where he throws them. Really
Yeah.
dynamic. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, that is really nice. Huh. Let me just switch over to the color page here. I'm just kind of curious. Reminisce. I mean, what a cover on that thing. Look at that.
Oh, yeah.
It's so freaking awesome. Oh man, yeah, that's awesome.
I agree. That's great.
Yeah.
Looks like you're gonna rip them apart.
Right, exactly.
And I will, let's give Todd a shout out because he is the one that puts all this together as far as all of the covers and the pages and so forth. We don't do that for the most part for the catalog just because of space.
Mm-hmm.
And after we get things to the printer and get ready to go online, Todd will go through the entire art section and add any published examples that he can.
It's a lot of work.
Had some nice context too.
Well, this one's going to do really well. You got a 5 to 10 estimate on it. It's already at 35. So, yeah, a lot of room on that one with 9 days to go. And what's your timer again? Remind me. How long?
So both days we start, or any day really, even if it's a 3-day online only auction. Our auctions always start closing at 9 Eastern, and we start a 20-minute clock at 9 o'clock. So if things do not receive a bid in those 20 minutes, at 9:20 they close. If an item is bid on, that reopens that individual lot for another 20 minutes. So there is no sniping. There is no advantage to waiting until the last second. Get your bids in early and often is what I always say. But at 9 o'clock is when we start our timer, 20 minutes. It could end at 9:20. If it doesn't and bids come in, typically it winds down till somewhere between 10:30 and 11:30 when the final lots close.
20 minutes gives somebody a lot of time to think about it.
Always time to look over what you're bidding on, what you're watching, time to make up your mind, other people to look and see.
Well, we have that time frame too because we do callbacks, right?
Sure.
So there's a lot of interaction and reasons to not have for us a short window for it to close. We want people to have the opportunity to get those bids in, to think about it, for us to reach out to anybody that we are calling back. So, when we put this system in place, we changed our rules from what they used to be. I don't know, maybe 10 years ago, Mike.
Yeah.
No, it was after I started.
When did you start?
17.
Actually, I should say, when are you going to start?
Oh, hey, good call. I'm pretty sure this was my idea, wasn't it? I think I brought
sure. It's your idea. Really, we did survey everything because there were a lot of auctions that close in the same manner, but some were as short as 2 minutes between a 2-minute clock, some as long as a 30-minute clock. So we kind of just went with the 20-minute. That gave us enough time. It gave bidders enough time. Gives consigners a peace of mind that, we're allowing every bidder to have a chance to get a bid in. So there's no, there's some people that won't like it. There are some people that do.
Sure.
Every auction it ends differently. You just sort of have to adapt to that auction, understand their rules, and go with the flow. As long as you want the item, you'll figure out a way to bid. I know I that's speaking firsthand. I bid in all auctions, all of our competition. I'm an art collector, and if I see a piece I want, I figure out how that auction works, and I put my bids in.
Yeah, as a fan, I love the variety of different auctions. I prefer this one of all. I'm not just saying that because I work here, but I've always liked it. If you're winning, I will say that 20 minutes is a long time. If you're not winning though, and you're thinking about two things, then the 20 minutes comes in very, very handy. So you take the good with the bad. I think the good far outweighs the bad.
And like I said, there was a time when many, many moons ago. Now we are going back more than 10 years ago, because let's everyone remember this is my 40th year at Hake. So I know how things were. There was a point where we would go 24 hours consecutive with bids, and that's why the clock was implemented in the first place. So now the fact that we start the closing at 9 and by 11 or 11:30, and that's East Coast time, it closes. So it doesn't drag on.
Yeah.
Even though you think 20 minutes sounds like a lot, it is when you're sitting there counting the time down on your one item. But for the most part, the auction process goes fairly swiftly and wraps up. I don't think we've gone past 11:30 for years.
Long time. It's been years.
Sounds about right.
Well, that's cool.
And it's important to note that the 9 p.m. 9 Eastern time clock is 9 p.m. Because a lot of auctions end during the day, but ours ends in the evening. Gives West Coast some time to look things over in the evening. I mean, we've got people all over the world bidding, so it try to keep that in mind with how we run.
Sure. Alex, I got to ask you this: 40 years at Hakes, do you have your own parking space?
Yes.
Good. You deserve one. Do they have? So it's got your. Does it? What do you have as? I mean, does it have like your face on it? Does it have your favorite comic character on it? Or does it just say Alex Winter?
It says it's Alex, hands off.
Green Yeti footprints.
Green Yeti.
Oh man, that's well, you deserve one. 40 years there, you should be able to park. Your spot should be closer than the handicap parking.
It is.
He stays humble. You know what? You don't always use it.
I'm gonna pull up Hakes on an aerial map, and I'm gonna find your spot. It probably is like right next to the front door, right?
It is, but like I say, he doesn't always park there. Sometimes he.
But today you say that because it's at night, and I know there's no one coming, and it's our lot anyway. I am parked in the handicap spot because it is the closest spot to the door. So, yeah.
All right. Well, no one's gonna call the cops on you. I know
there's more information anybody ever needed to know about my parking situation, but now you got
it. Oh man! All right, we got this Tusk cap 215 page. Is Alberto in the audience? I don't know if I've seen him in the chat. He's probably taking the night off. Who knows? But this is nice. Got Pablo Marcos signing in there, 77, and that's great. You got the Red Skull in there.
Yeah, this is cool. This is a double origin page. So you got the Kami Smasher cap origin, and you also have the Avengers 4 callback for Steve Rogers coming back for the Silver Age. So you got the Atomic Age origin and the Silver Age origin, a cap on one page. It's cool. From the origin, at one point in time, other than I think 109, they were looking for the cap origin story, and this issue was it for a long time. Until they retconned it again, this is all you had. So,
Hamor down there.
Yeah, no, this is cool.
Great vintage 50-year-old cap page. And actually, it's funny you say that because I thought of Alberto because I'm like, he's always like, "Where's the cap stuff?" We got a lot of cap stuff this time around.
We do.
See, we got it, and he's not here.
Yep.
Yep, that is how it works. But hey, it's any origin page is always good. It doesn't matter how many times it's been retold, right? I mean, how many times has the Batman origin been seen print one way or another from an artist? So
No, same. I agree. Same thing. If the spider bite page,
right,
give them all to me. The alleyway with the clutching the pearls, same thing. Same thing with Cap. I can see it anytime. Different artist takes on it too.
yeah.
Speaking of that in origin pages, ta-da! How about very early Captain Carrot eating the carrot and turning into Roger Rabbit turning into Captain Carrot from issue number 2.
Man,
that's going up in my calf gallery soon.
When did you pick that up, or have you had it a while?
I gotta give credit to my man Sean. He sent me a link to it, and I chased it down and won it in January.
Oh man, congrats!
Yeah,
that's a great page. I was excited. I found a lot of Captain Carrot stuff, but it's never up to par. He's like, no. And I found a good one. So glad you got
he's always sending me pages with a Yankee Poodle. I said, I don't want Yankee Poodle. I want Captain Carrot.
I figured it's a talking animal. Just take it.
I'm going to start sending Alex every talking animal artwork I see anywhere. I'm going to start scouring all the auction houses and even CAF for something. That's
Pennsylvania's #1 Yankee Poodle fan.
So did it come framed?
No. I had we got a customer that does framing, so he did that green and orange frame job for me. Yeah.
No, very nice. Okay, that's awesome, man. Any art day that we get to have as collectors is a good one. But when you get something unique like that, I mean, shoot, I bet you there's not too many Captain Carrot pages on CAF. So
there are not. I've been searching for many years for them. It's hard to find.
Throw it in your keywords, Sean. You never know. All right, where are we going to next? So let's see. This is from Marvel's issue 4. Alex Ross, of course. You're at $2,500 on this one with 9 days to go. A really nice splash page here.
I love this page.
Hey, Mike, you want to point out the Easter egg on this?
Oh, yeah. Bill, if you scroll up to that chip there in the upper left-hand corner, or in the front corner there, if you zoom in on those little viewing ports there, you might see some familiar characters for all of our eagle-eyed Watchmen fans.
Uh-huh.
It's that's seeing that in person was a nice. Ross did a nice little touch there. I really love that.
Was it published with those characters in the Like he got away with it, huh? Wow.
Yeah. I think it was fuzzy enough that when it was printed it didn't quite come through. The art's a different story.
Yeah, Marcus, everybody knows Watchmen. I may not be the big DC fan, but I do know that. No, this is beautiful. I mean, Marvel's is probably my favorite Alex Ross book. So, anytime pages come up, I always enjoy seeing them. I've reread the story a few times, but yeah, this is really nice.
Very H.G. Wells feel.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
And that Easter egg that makes the page for me. I mean, the image of the innocence of Gwen Stacy and all that stuff, but the Easter egg is what makes that super cool.
And I never noticed it reading Marvels before. Like I was describing the art, and I was like, is that? I had to got up my loop and looked at it closer. I'm like, he did it.
Yeah, he's got like Dick Van Dyke and Mary Tyler Moore in the wedding page, and he does a cab driver. He's got a lot of cool stuff in that book.
Yeah,
well, that's a good one. Definitely. I'm sure there's a lot of people following that one. Then what do we got here? This is from Incredible Hulk 143. I think. Gosh, I feel like we had Berkey on Thursday on the CAF update because he was in Cologne showing out, for the Marvel exhibit, and I'm pretty sure he owns this cover. I think that one was there, but great interior page with Dr. Doom from this book.
Yeah, he owns a color guide cover too because I traded. It's like you go on this cover, so I think he's got both now.
He's got too much, but hey, any Doom page is always going to attract interest. So I mean, every time they're after Galactus, probably the well, and some people would argue probably even greater than Galactus as far as like best Marvel villains. But yeah, this is sweet. Dick Ayers art on this one.
Well, and Bruce Banner in that last panel. So it's a cool page.
Yeah, this is great. Love the close-ups on Doom.
Yeah, they're great. That's awesome.
There you go, number one Marvel fan dreaming in the chat. He's bidding on this one and he hopes it goes cheap.
Well,
that's the dream of every collector is that. But
the guy running an auction house might say, let's not have it go so cheap. But
that's exactly it's wishful thinking. We know not when it's yours though.
Yeah.
But anyway,
but I will say I think this was one that was just a one-off page. Like someone out of the blue just had one page, if I'm not mistaken, and contacted us. So again, when you ask, where does this stuff come from? Sometimes it's an entire collection. Sometimes it's one piece. That's the most exciting part of our job, is not knowing every day what is actually going to show up, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, this is a good one. Very nice. All right, it's got 6 bidders on it. We know Tom's interested. You got a Broderick Micronauts 25 page here. It's at 854, and I think it actually might go higher than your high estimate too. It's a great.
And this is one of 2. We have a page from issue 26 as well. I think I gave you just this one to show.
Mm-hmm.
And both of these came from. Were these from the Star Wars person too, or this was somebody else, Mike? Do you remember?
I'm not
I can't
sure
remember
on these. They might be, but I'm not sure.
Both came from the same person. So again, if you are into this, make sure you see both pages on our site.
Yeah, we had Broderick at OAX this year, and I always appreciated his run on Micronauts. Just solid. I mean, I like his style. I mean, his work today stands up. He's doing that Western book that I can't think of the name of, but he's just got he's an interesting guy, but his style is solid and unmistakable. And Micronauts was definitely a fun run when he was on it. Yeah, this is
enjoying a resurgence, because I think in the last year Marvel started to reprint this right omnibus volumes of Micronauts.
There you go. Rob mentioned Bronze Star. That's the current Broderick book, but number one Marvel fan. See, everybody knows it. Andrew Allen has most of them. Yeah, Andrew is a big Micronauts art collector. That is for certain. He has quite a few Broderick pages. Well, overall, he has just a ton of Micronauts pages, but this is a good one. Yeah, what do we got? GI Joe Transformers #1, and this is with Herb Trimpe artwork. So from '86, very good year. This one. Let's get this thing to load. There it goes.
This is a cool story. So you got Blowtorch, Junkyard, Mutt, Beachhead, Scarlet, and Snake Eyes. Good stuff.
Great action.
Yeah, that's a good page. Yeah, any early Joe pages, you want to have guys on motorcycles and lots of gunfire.
Dreadnoughts with spiked wheel motorcycles.
What is that? Oh, it's signed by Shooter and Trimpe.
I love the Beachheads on it. He's my favorite. You don't see a lot of Beachhead art out there.
Well, I mean, no, I like it's Trimpe when you see it too. That's a nice page.
Mm-hmm.
Now, is this the only GI Joe Transformers related work you got in the auction?
Comic book art, yes. There's Transformer toy production art, and no Joe this time, I don't think, right, Mike? Just Transformer.
No Joe art. No.
Okay.
This is it.
Well, there you go. The only one available.
Get it while it's hot.
Yep, $700 right now.
That's cheap.
Yeah, 9 days to go. Now we got a daily strip here next from Ramita Senior. Is this the only one you have? Because I know you've had.
No,
a few.
just showing one, but we have 4 or 5 again, all
Okay.
from the Gary Guzzo collection, and all with great content. So
I think it's another 6.
6 we
Yeah.
did. Okay.
Yeah, because we had 6 last time. I think we have 6 again.
Okay.
Wow. I mean, this is a great page. It's Spidey in action in all of them, web spinning all the whole time. That's awesome.
Year is this one?
That's what I was trying to
80.
see. No, let me
80.
close this.
They're all 80.
I think everything that we've had so far, and if you've been following us the last couple of auctions, both cataloged and online, we had some strips, and I think they all were from 1980. A couple different storylines, maybe 3 different storylines, but all from 80.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're all strong.
Well, this is a beauty, and deservedly so. It's already at 1650.
Yeah. So again, if you like this strip art, just search out what we have.
And they're all Ramita Senior strips, or
Yep.
Even better. All right, let's see. What do we got here? Color Guide to Marvel Tales, Volume 2, Issue 35. This is up your alley.
It's vintage. It's got the proofs with it too, so that's rare in itself to find the progressive proofs. Yeah, it's cool. I love color guides.
Yeah, we had the last couple issues. We had very few, so this time I think we have half dozen or so, Marvel and DC.
Yep. Yeah, I love it. Their 50-year-old classic Marvel cover. Like I said too, the fact that it's paired with the color steps, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's nice to see a vintage color guide. I own a few myself, not many, but they are fun. Covers are always going to be the most sought after. Get a good Spidey, Craven, and the Vulture. Wow. How's this one doing? It's not got a bid yet, but it's
that's a bargain. That's a one-of-a-kind bargain for somebody.
Yeah.
Like you keep saying, Bill, not just 9 days to go, but 9 days and then the closing hours. So there's some bidding throughout the 3 weeks that we're online.
Mm-hmm.
The closing days, it really picks up, and then a mass group of people that come in during those last couple of hours. So as great as things may be doing, or things that have no bid, that can drastically change in a matter of minutes during the close.
Nope, I completely agree. Now, do you own a lot with progressive proofs, Sean?
No, they're hard to find. That's what I'm saying, man. I've got some, but they're finding the proofs by themselves. I mean, the proofs go for $1,500 for a lot of non-key books all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Color sets, and those are the later sets that are just stapled. This has the cover. When I say cover, I mean it's got the progressive proofs cover from the printing company, which that was late silver, early bronze. We were doing it that way. Then obviously it's hand colored. And to answer a Marvel fan, there's no COA. The COA, a lot of time you'll see them with certain colorists would work with dealers that would put out COAs, but this came from Marvel. It actually came from Bermuda, so he didn't have any COA. You're not going to find him with that stuff. Jack Adler stuff, you'll find it. Some stuff with like Adrian Roy stuff, you'll find some COAs, but this is authentic. It's one of those things where there are certain telltale things you can tell when it's real, when it's fake, and the fact that it's paired with those color steps it would cost probably tens of thousands, definitely thousands of dollars to reproduce that. It's just not, the juice ain't worth the squeeze. The amount of time and effort to fake something that's worth $500-600. So yeah, it's very rare to see them together. Super cool. See, that's my fault for not following the bouncing ball too, man.
That's all right.
I can't multitask and look at the chat at the same time. Yeah, it's funny. You teed it up, man. I had to answer, so.
So we have the one of the pieces that people enjoyed seeing at OAX. I think they were hard to miss, right? So this first one is the Incredible Hulk Aurora model kit artwork. Neil Adams. Here, let me go ahead and zoom in on it. There we go. These are just great to see. You know, the size, just
Yeah.
kind of incredible.
Yeah, no, we were thrilled to land these, and you know we've been selling Aurora model kits since the 70s, right? Before there were any other auction houses that even thought about selling collectibles. But to sell the original art is a rare occurrence, especially anything from the 60s. And as popular as the Universal Monster art is, there's more of that out there than there is the superhero art, because for Marvel in the 60s, you had Hawk, Captain America, Spider-Man. That's it. And you'll see with the next lot, we have Captain America and Hawk both in this same auction.
Exactly. Hey, Mike, I was muting you just to see if it was your microphone that was causing the feedback we just started getting about 2 or 3 minutes ago, and it was. Don't know why, but if you mute yourself when you're not talking and then unmute it, it'll be fine.
Okay.
I'm not sure why the feedback's happening. Maybe you turned your volume up or something, but
Mess around.
yeah, there's some setting there. I just know that when I turned that off, it stopped. So
that's good. So
no
anytime Mike is muted, that's a good thing. Trust me. So no complaints here. No, seriously, back on this. I mean, these are, and you can see I have one piece here. They are big. Captain America is even bigger than this. They're just the two incredible offerings. We're thrilled to have those in this auction. You can see that's, and then Captain America goes up. You know, be off screen right now. That's how large that is. So this is the original art for the box lids for the classic Aurora models. Not much more to say. Now, with the exception of this one being Neil Adams, so that takes it to another level. The Captain America art is unknown who did that, but this has been documented that this is Neil Adams, and this is obviously early Neil Adams for Marvel if it's 1966.
60 years ago. Iconic.
It's hard to imagine, right? But it was striking to see at OAX. I mean, they stood out from anything that anybody else really had. It was great to see them in a display case. The presentation was fantastic. So yeah, these are historic. I mean, this is pre me at the end of the day. I saw these in like the aftermarket as a kid every now and again, but no, these are historic, and it'll be cool to see where these ones end up. This one and the next one. But I can switch over to that, but I would assume you get over $6,000 right now on that one, and then the cap piece is just over 6 as well right now. And this is one where they not sure whom the artist is primarily on this one.
Yep.
Nobody wants that. Just let it go. Let somebody else win it.
Yeah,
that is nice. And this one's larger though. I forget what the size was. I looked at it.
Yeah, this is a 20 by 27.
27.
So it's big.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of your classic Kirby pose. Either way, it's not Kirby, of course, but that's what they were angling for with the piece.
Yeah, and with all of the superhero kits, including the ones in the 70s that were the kind of reissues of these, it was Adams and Mike, correct me if I'm wrong, Gil Kane did some of the art for the boxes for the comic books. Yeah.
Man.
#1 Marvel fan. These two with the Spider-Man art would have been a great set if it's out there. Yeah, that would be pretty cool. But again, you get Hulk, you get Cap, you get a lot of bricks in this one. That's always good.
And your yellow background too, bud.
Again.
Yeah, with both of them. Yeah. And Spider-Man was the same way. All three had yellow backgrounds.
Yep. Wow, these are awesome. Really, really nice. Let's see. Oh, nope. saved to Pinterest. I hate when I gotta get Pinterest off this damn thing. There you go. I knew it would show you had the box with it too. I should have showed it with the Hulk, but yeah, that's
So you can
classic.
see. I mean, that's how much bigger it is than the box. I mean, that's the
Right.
size of the model kit next to that art. Yeah, those are side by side.
Those model kit boxes are, look, when you see those in person, they're bigger than you expect.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I'm surprised that they worked as big as they did on these things, but that's how it is.
Well, it's and back to everything about Hakes is you have the crossover. Somebody who appreciates the toys, the model kits, now you've got the art. I mean, Hakes is a good destination for consignments when there's that kind of crossover between stuff. That's why like GI Joe, Transformers, the toys, posters, all that kind of stuff. It fits.
I might even say the only destination, but that's just me.
I get it.
The destination.
Yes. Thank you, Mike.
That was worth unmuting. Good job, Mike.
And there are videos for these. Anybody who wants to get a video and see these the little presentation pieces that Hake's put together, those are available as well. We're not going to play them all tonight, but there are others that you guys can watch. And if you follow one over to YouTube, you should subscribe to Hake's channel too. They don't put a ton of content out there, but everything you do is relevant to the business and upcoming auctions.
Funny you say that though, because we are talking about doing finally a channel and doing shows that have staff picks. And we talk about consignments as they come in, and we talk about conventions. And it's always a matter of not really having the time or the resources. And now that we hired John, as I said, who's doing our social media and videos and things, I'm working with him right now to kind of coordinate that. So we may, before this auction ends, have our first show, staff pick show. And if not, certainly in the future, we will be doing a lot more content on YouTube for sure.
Awesome. I did talk with him the other day, last week sometime. Seemed like a very competent guy. Yeah, that's awesome. That's good. Good for you. You should be doing it. You have enough followers. I think you have over 4,000 subscribers on the channel. So that's always a good thing to do. Oh yeah, I like this image. That's why I put it in the show graphic. So it's a recreation from Cap 7 by Simon here. Let me zoom in on that. Yeah, I thought the colors on this thing are great. I don't know what year it was done, but yeah, this is wonderful.
Probably done sometime in the 90s. It was on a documentary hanging on his wall in his studio. So he still
really?
He still owned it in the early 2000s. There are a few versions floating out there, but this one it's pretty distinctive. It's in my opinion of this particular splash. It was the best one he did. It's pretty cool. Look at his yellow eyes.
And beat the Zoo of Doom. and the coloring on this is different, slightly different than the published page as well. Slight difference.
Just gonna hit on there we go. Oh yeah.
A lot more vivid than the published.
This one's monstrous also.
Yeah, this is 18 by 25.
Wow. Yeah, that's a good one. Only the horse is unaffected here, though.
If you're a Cap fan, you got to have a Simon and a Kirby. If you collect art, it's a must.
Oh, that is really nice. So you got a couple bids on it already. That's good. And it is oversized. Look at that, 18 by 25.
Yeah, it's awesome.
All right, now what we got here? Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen and a Kirby page, issue 141, signed by Jack too. Okay. Yeah, I mean, come on. It's just every panel is exactly what you'd want from a Kirby page.
It's got the crackle. Yeah, I agree, man. Wow.
Oh man, the last panel there is freaking awesome. You get the Kirby foreshortening, on a figure where the guy's hands are twice as tall as the head because of the way but it's everything you want. I mean, what more can you ask for? And Jack signed it right there. That's perfect. Gosh. This is a really, really nice page. I mean, if as a not you don't have to be a DC fan to see a lot to love in this thing. This is wonderful. And this second panel, I mean, all the panels are fantastic. Shoot.
And this is from the issue with Don Rickles on the cover.
The Mr. Warmth cover.
Oh, right here. I didn't even see.
But what's even more important about this page, though, is this is the first time Superman or AKA Clark Kent in this instance interacts with any of the new gods outside of the Forever People. This is his first time meeting Orion in continuity.
That's great.
Yeah, no, I think this page is amazing. Really. Wow. Well, somebody's going to be happy when they pick that one up. So it's starting bid at 1,000.
Man, that's
Let's see. I went too big on that one. Oh, that's right. I checked this. Yeah, I love Chaykin's artwork. So when I saw that, I'm like, oh, I got to see that because I don't remember Forbidden Tales of Dark Mansion. So this one's on regular size artboard. Get a giant spider. And nothing like a good layout by Howard here. So this is a really nice page. Huh.
Yeah, as nice as his Star Wars stuff that we have in the auction is, some of this rare art from him. It's great. I mean, this page is.
Yeah, no, that's great. Howard's the best. So what year was this? 72.
Well, this is issue 7. I don't remember how many issues this thing even ran. You remember, Mike?
Not many.
Not yeah.
And you forget how long that guy Howard's been working. 72 is a long time ago.
He's been around a while. I'm just curious whether why they would have added a cutout there in the lower panel. It's kind of weird to maybe they just reposition the guy, but very nice. All right. Now we have Sword.
15 issues, by the way.
15.
Okay.
So here we have another page by Howard.
Again, sticking with some kind of offbeat titles for him.
That's pretty funky there. It's the 70s, right?
Yeah, this is 73.
I love that screen tone background.
Oh, heck yeah.
Even age
All
like
the
that.
detail in here.
That's
Oh yeah.
He's doing a little Tradmore before Tradmore. Near Levy. Yeah, Marcus says near Levy. Sure, I can see that too. Yeah, that's cool. I bet it was probably very psychedelically colored too.
Yeah, I don't know, Todd. Some of the pages, some of these obscure issues he couldn't find, so he might not have. Yeah, we just had the cover added to this one, not the page.
Oh, that's a good example. 3 bids on that one. Let's see. Next up is another Howard Chaykin. Oh, yeah, this was a good one too. From Iron Wolf. Title page. Yeah.
giant aliens, little flying droids. It's good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Drones.
And this is all Howard too. This is his pencils and inks.
And this is 73.
Yeah, that's a good one. Dang.
'73. You put this in a stack with a bunch of random Star Wars art, you might just think it's part of Star Wars.
Yeah, this would look like a page after the adaptation issues, right? Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, well, this is a nice one. This might be my favorite. I mean, it's just so Howard. Yeah, I love the figures. And like you said, Mike, the little robots in there are fun touches as well. I like it a lot. Man, let's see. Let me close that one and see. So yeah, several bids on that one. Figure that one's going to generate a lot of interest. Then we got a Batman. This is from a trading card art, right? Yeah. Let's see. Switch over to this image here so we can see. Yep. Outburst Firepower, Batman versus Two-Face. Yep.
Yeah, this is 96 Fleer Skybox set.
Love 90s card art.
There's not enough of it around.
There
That's
is
for
not.
sure. Yeah. No, all that's so sought after from collectors these days, right? I mean, that's everybody's sweet spot. I
Yep.
think is because cards were so popular in the 90s, and yeah, the idea that you could own art from them.
Yep. All those kids now are turning into late 30s and they got
Yeah.
money, and that's what they
Yep.
remember.
And it's Eduardo Barreto. I just highlighted it there in the URL. No,
Yeah,
that's,
yeah,
that's awesome.
Face, elbow to the face. Elbow to the Two-Face, actually.
Exactly. Yeah. Snub nose in there too. So this one's starting at 5. It's got a bid already. Then what was that? Oh, Al Plastino Batman Daily from 69.
That's a good one.
Wow.
And not just Batman and Batgirl. This is a really cool one. We've had a few daily strips over the years, but I think this from this era of Batman, I think this is the best we've offered.
Yeah, it's very real similar response. You popped up that Doom page. It's just you don't see enough Batgirl art, Doom art. It's just when you see it, it's a treat.
Yeah, no, I like strangely enough, even that middle panel's awesome. Just the lighting, figures, gives you a sense of them, looking in on whatever the heck's going on there. I like this one a lot. That the inking on this thing is just great.
Whitney Ellsworth too. He was mostly known as a TV producer and an editor. So Whit Ellsworth inks is rare, also, isn't it? I don't know how many times I've seen a Whit Ellsworth ink before.
Not familiar with the name.
He was the first editor on Batman back in the 30s.
Okay.
Yeah, he was definitely more active in the golden age than in the late 60s.
And then he brought the Superman TV show to Hollywood.
And you know your stuff, Sean.
And I didn't say it was a secretary this time. Sometimes I get my
That's because he's in costume. It's only when they're not in costume.
You will never live that one down.
No.
But thank you for reminding us about it. I hadn't thought about it in about 4 or 5 months. I do love this piece, though. It really is. It's awesome. I mean, that's yeah.
I'm pretty sure this was another one that just this is the one piece that they had that came to us. So yeah, just a one-off consignment.
Yeah. Wetzel says it's the middle panel is kind of a Kniff vibe. Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that one's already at 610. Yeah. See, everything I know that I wouldn't mind throwing a bid on, I know I'm never going to be able to move forward. That's a good one, though. That one should do really, really well. The examples, there just aren't a lot of them out there. So let's see. This is a piece by Neil Vokes from Robotech, right? Yeah, there it is down at the bottom. Wraparound cover. And if you like big robots and carnage and devastation, this is your cover.
There's that 80s, late 70s, early 80s Japanese mechs. Great stuff.
Well, it's even inked by Rich Rankin. He did great work with Bill Willingham on Elementals. So no, that's awesome. I love Rankin's work.
Yeah, there's also Comico, right?
Yeah, cool. That makes sense. I didn't realize that, but that's cool. Shoot, that's pretty sweet.
Yeah, I just like seeing the back of that robot blowing out. That's such a neat little design element there.
Let's see what the extra. So that's on the back. or is that a prelim?
Yep.
Yep.
Prelim on the back. Pretty nicely detailed too.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's great. Shoot, that is awesome. Those Kamiko covers are always cool. I always love the little checkerboard design and everything that they threw in there. That's slick. Well, it's gonna make somebody happy. Pick that up. It's already got some bidders. And all right, so where are we going to here? We've got Dan DeCarlo, Sabrina, Teenage Witch. Is this it's a full issue? All
This
right.
is cover to cover. Yeah. And this is one of the covers that had a photo of Melissa Joan Hart. So you don't see it because they inserted a photo on the license on the cover.
Oh, I'm switching over to that
That's
one. There we
one
go.
of a number of issues they had her photo on the actual cover, along with the cartoon version, comic version.
That's cool.
I should show this to my daughter Emma, who's 20 and hasn't gotten her driver's license yet. It's easy. Come on. Well, Dan DeCarlo is just prolific and amazing. I mean, there's a lot of DeCarlo out there, but everybody's got to have a few pieces in their collection. I mean, I've got a few. I got a Jughead strip, and can't remember what the other piece is, but I mean, he was a master, and yeah, this is awesome.
Yeah, we had two other issues cover to cover 2 auctions ago. This is from the same source, but it's the final one. So
okay, got some bids.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm gonna save this one and show it to Emma. I'll pull this tab off, save it for her. She'll enjoy that. It's a reminder. Oh, we got some more Chaykin art from Atlas Comics this time. Scorpion #2. This stuff doesn't come up too often. And man, Chaykin is just incredible page layouts here, and you get a title page to boot, right? This is page 1, right? Dang, let me zoom in on it. That's great. Huh.
That's interesting to look at. Like you said, the layouts, the ink, everything.
Mike, did you do the description for this, or was this Todd? Do you remember you did? You were saying, I didn't realize this, that there were 4 inkers for this issue: Kaluta, Simonson, Wrightson, and Ed Davis. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, trying to nail that down was a little hard, but I mean, this is, and it's important to note that this is the first 2 issues of the Scorpion were very adventure-esque character, and then for whatever reason, there was some editorial disagreements, and he went full superhero the 3rd issue. So it's a completely different thing. Chaykin left, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Issue 3 was his last. Yeah.
Well, this is wonderful. I remember seeing Atlas Comics on the spinner rack at the drugstore where I got my comics back in the day. It was cool because it was just cool seeing a different publisher title on a banner that wasn't DC and Marvel.
Vastly underappreciated.
Yeah, part of the Lost Universe book. If you're into stuff like that Gemstone put out, right? The 2 volumes they did, Mike, of all these Atlas and so on and so forth. Very interesting, informative, and available at gemstone.com. Shameless plug for a sister company.
Marcus says they ran out of money by the 3rd month. I wasn't really aware of the history of Atlas, but yeah, Lockjaw or whatever. I mean, the covers were always just cool. I mean, they weren't your traditional Marvel and DC books of that era. So yeah, sweet. Well, so that's why stuff like this will always generate some interest. So it's at $8.91 already. Yeah, that'll go over your estimates for sure. Let's see here. What's the next one? Oh, we got some Dave Sim. No background, so we know Gerhard probably didn't touch this one, but already over your estimate, low estimate side of it. That's good.
It's a good use of the medium. Just
Mhm.
less is more. It's super cool.
Because this is where Todd would jump in, being a Cerberus fan. So, Todd, if you were still in the audience, speak up.
Take it away, Todd. Start typing really fast. I mean, the good thing is, there's a lot of sim service art out there, I mean, so it's not like you can't come across it, but
Mhm.
pages like this are always fun. I mean, I have
Yeah.
a few friends who always collected like pages that were like this, where they were a lot of black panels, or the focus was very minimalistic. I just think stuff like this is fun, and clearly, it's just a fun image to have it set up like this. I mean, it looks like, um, yeah. Yeah, Todd, there he is. Nice Dave Sim example. Thank you for popping in, Todd. It looks like, what are these like potentially stats on a couple of these? Is that, or I
Uh,
can't tell.
Yeah, it's just resized stats in the last
oh,
three.
okay.
Got it. Okay. But
Yeah,
either way,
fade out thing. Fade
you're
out.
looking for an affordable Cerebus page. This is a good one. Yeah, I like it. I like the heavy blacks on it too, really. Storytelling shines through. That's right. Oh, you're absolutely right, Todd.
Yep.
Yeah, you can even see he had a little tape pull when he was like filling in the blacks, coming back in. I mean, that's always cool stuff to see, as we all like to see the process on things. Yeah, that's neat.
I'm having a flashback to the ending of Super Mario Brothers 2. Mario's dreaming. Sorry.
That's all right. It's all right. So 773 on this one right now. Now, oh, that's right. You would put a search result for these. You have a Ken Kelly, one of those Ken Kelly pieces. Here, I'm gonna zoom over here to you, Alex.
Yeah, that's
You got
that's
two.
the first one we'll talk about, and then I have two of them there.
Damn.
Yes,
All right,
but that one's large. That's big. That's even bigger.
All right, let me. Which one do you want to talk about first?
So I think the first one that comes up will be this, which is an album cover art.
All right, let me switch over to the big slide here. There we go.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So this is 24 by 24, and it's for a Swedish power metal band by the name of Stormburner, and you can check out their music on Spotify. I do recommend that. And so this is for an album cover called Shadow Rising. So done specifically for the band for this album cover. This was not a Ken Kelly piece that was repurposed. This was done as a commission for the album cover.
That's slick. No, that is awesome. I like Ken Kelly's style. I mean, he's very distinct, and when there were a lot of people kind of aping Frazetta a bit, he really took his own kind of path, his figurative work, his colors, his layouts, and everything. So yeah, you can see why he would be, why some heavy metal bands would love to have Ken Kelly doing their cover work for their albums.
Well, some of the most classic Kiss covers, Destroyer and Love Gun, was Ken Kelly. Rainbow Rising was Ken Kelly. So he's got a pedigree in album covers. And in fact, speaking of Kiss, at one point he had a piece that was Kiss on a Viking ship, and I don't know what it was done for, proposed for. It was never used, but I remember he had that at a number of shows. He would do Chiller and so forth, and set up and had that available for sale for a while. So this is actually kind of a later use then of that concept of the Viking ship for an album cover.
Well, it is badass. You're absolutely right, Tom.
Agreed.
Now, what's this other? This other one is okay. It was for a proposed book cover, and you've got that one behind you as well. Let me switch over to you just for a second again, Alex.
Yeah,
that's huge.
Yeah. So that one is 30 by 40.
Yeah, it's as big as your window behind it, man. That's crazy.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah, the neat story on that, it was proposed book cover. There's a fantasy series by Robert Adams called Stairway to Forever. This was going to be for the third book in the series. Unfortunately, the author passed away like a year after the second book was published. So the third book never happened. This is what might have been.
And that is written on the back of this art. And I should say that the 4 pieces we have are all from the Kelly estate. So provenance of where they came from.
Well, that's pretty cool. Yeah, so we don't get to see a published image because it didn't make it there, but just lovely, lush Ken Kelly painting here. Yeah, that's great. And I mean, you look at modern artwork done for Magic the Gathering and things like that, and all most of those artists, there's no way that Ken wasn't an inspiration in many ways. I mean, when I look at just the brushwork up through this dragon, I mean, it's his legacy lives on in a lot of creators. I am not the caveman, Marcus, but thank you for that. Number one Marvel fan says that you need to do a calf cribs video sometime, Alex.
Everybody keeps saying that.
Yeah, you just do a walkthrough. You just walk through and pan around the office, and you just talk about what
It would have to be offices because I ran out of room in here. So many of the hallways and the office next to me is spillover.
Well, before you do that for your own channel, you can do an abbreviated one for us, and then what you should do is the long version, the unedited long version that you post just to the Hake's channel. That's just that's a request. You don't have to do it, but that'd be cool.
All right,
think about it.
Let me write that on the poster right now.
All right.
I got to know
because we've done. I'll send you some links to some other like crib videos that people have done, just walking, just based on how they display their collection in their homes and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, some people have them in the single room, multiple rooms, that sort of thing. But it's always just cool to see how people display stuff, and you never know what like small interesting piece of art you might not have put in your calf or you have in your collection. So
that's a big thing with the staff here. I mean, everybody's office looks like this. It's loaded with their stuff. I mean, we're all collectors. We live and breathe this stuff. This is a business. I always say that, but we're passionate collectors. So yeah,
like Mike said earlier, I thought he was still at work. It's his house. So
there's little difference.
There is. Now here we do have a published cover, correct, Mike?
Yeah, this let's see here. That was a cover for the Dust Jacket, I believe it's the first edition hardcover. This is the Dust Jacket.
Nice. And then you had one other Ken Kelly piece too, just an inked.
And then if you're more of a budget, this is just a nice black and white piece that's not going to break the bank, but it's classic Ken Kelly.
Very Conan-esque.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's very nice. Oh, cool. Very good. And all 4 from the estate, you said, right?
Yep.
No, you can't get more.
We were hoping to have those in time for OAX, and we were going to bring a couple, and it just didn't work out. They actually came at the very end of the process after we had already done the show. So
those would have been cool to see there. Definitely. Then we got some... we got Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck. This is from 48.
Yeah, so this is for Rexall magazine Christmas cover, and it's by Hank Porter. And Hank Porter is a major name in the world of Disney art, and maybe not so much as animation, but if anyone's familiar with the Good Housekeeping pages, he did a lot of those classic works of art for that. And this is Mickey and Donald and Danny the Black Lamb for the deep dive Disney people. But a 1948 cover. So to find Hank Porter cover art for Disney, doesn't exist, right? I'll do this pun for David Gerstein. It's rare as little hen's teeth. Mike also gets that. Everyone else is scratching their head. That's fine. Seriously, Hank Porter art is highly desirable. Does not come up that often, and certainly not cover artwork.
Mike, extra bonus, it's a great Christmas cover too. You got Mickey, you got Donald, and for most people, a very obscure character from So Dear to My Heart.
Yeah.
A very obscure Disney film from the 40s.
Yeah. Having said that, they actually did do, because Disney did merchandise for everything, a stuffed Danny the Black Lamb doll at the time of the movie. And there's a ceramic piece as well. But that's sort of it. So we're talking about very little for Danny the Black Lamb that is vintage. And this is probably the only piece of original art featuring Danny the Black Lamb.
Well, it's nice. And I was just checking. You see, you have another Hank Porter piece in the auction as well. A Cinderella piece, and surprisingly, there's a lot of Hank Porter artwork on Calf. I think there's 175 pieces on Calf.
Yeah.
That's always nice to see.
There's good housekeeping work. Is pretty spectacular, and we've offered some of that before as well.
Oh, very, very cool. Let's see. So a little golden book art, right? It says it's let me switch over to that. Very cool. I like this a lot. That's awesome.
Yeah, so this, Fireball XL5 for any Jerry Anderson fans. He also did Joe 90 and Thunderbirds and Stingray, Space 1999. He was involved with in a live action show later on. This was all Super Marionation is what they called it, essentially marionettes, right? But this is cover to cover, and this is just part of, and we have a couple more that we'll show. If you're into this kind of thing, we have a pretty interesting section of kids' TV show artwork that was published as books, puzzles. What else was there, Mike?
I believe some coloring books.
Coloring books, activity books. Yeah.
Books.
All of it's great. I mean, it's all full color painted artwork. And to get a little golden book cover to cover, not an easy thing. So I think it's an interesting section if you're into this kind of art.
I'm getting a Colossus vibe off that costume a little bit.
A little bit, yeah, I see it.
Yeah.
I love the space scooters. They're just fun. No helmets, but still space scooters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and this was 64. So yeah, well before your giant size X-Men, but absolutely a similarity there.
Mm-hmm.
I also got the Team America reference over there, Stingray.
Yeah. No, that's pretty cool, and good that you keeping it all together, selling it complete.
Yeah.
Of course.
Just like the DeCarlo, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm. Tom says it's a Avengers hover cycle. Yeah,
Or that He-Man thing.
Yeah. That's true too. Yeah. All right. Well, that is cool. Let's so you got a opening bid at 1,000 to get it started, and I like this one because come on, let's go. We might as well just jump over to the man's.
There he is.
Look how happy he is holding that
The
artwork.
James Bond of collectibles himself.
He couldn't be with us tonight because he's not feeling well. He is in the chat. Todd Sheffer. Look at that.
But we purposely did this because this is for a punch out book, but for a giant size punch out book. This was Whitman, right? And Whitman did this for Flintstones and for Yogi Bear and Huck Hound. These were gigantic punch out books. So these are the front and back cover of that book.
And Todd is a regular sized man, also, just everybody.
Correct.
Just to clarify.
Right. He's not diminutive in any way. He's not Tony. Well, whatever. See, so yeah, that's awesome, man. To turn up stuff like this is that's just so cool to see.
I know that the fan base of this is less than Marvel Silver Age artwork, right? But for those that are into this, I think this is one of the most interesting offerings at one time that I've ever seen at auction. So I'd say most of what we have is Hanna-Barbera art. We have some Jetsons and Top Cat and Flintstones, but there's other kids shows as we saw. And yeah, and again, it's all published artwork.
It's crazy. If you're it's just like if you're a cat guy, you gotta have a Simon and Kirby. If you're a Yogi Bear or Hanna-Barbera fan, it's
16 by 38, so it's a big piece of art.
Mm-hmm.
A giant in the industry. It's funny.
Well, get well soon, Todd.
Yeah, I think he's been hitting the NyQuil a little too hard.
The green kind.
That's right. Oh man, what have we got here? So we got some Golden Book. What does it say? Cover and end papers, original art. You get some Flintstones here. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Let's see.
And that's the actual cover of the book.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see. Here we go.
That's
This
the actual
interior.
published.
Yeah, those are the
Yeah.
end papers.
Right.
So that's there's the artwork to it within it, which has an overlay.
Oh, that's what the line. Yeah, the clear acetate overlay. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything I learned about marriage, I learned from the Flintstones. You know, sneaking out at night, going to the lodge or bowling, and I mean, the Flintstones one is like my favorite cartoon of all time.
Be nice to the dog.
Yes, exactly. Yep. Yeah. Well, that's pretty cool.
I just love Dino having his head out the window as a swing for pebbles. That's just great.
Yeah, Barney Spine went in the background.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's nice. So that's so you don't know. Yeah, this kind of stuff you never know who did the art. Just
A lot of it.
A few we were able to find out who the artists were, but not for this one.
Yeah, a lot of stuff was just Whitman staff artists that were sitting there churning this out all day long.
Right. So the cover, okay, it's matted 11 by 14. All right. So sweet. Those are always fun to see. And a Jetson piece as well. So this is the one that you like from the puzzle you were mentioning.
Yeah, this is from, and we show it there as one of the images. This was a frame tray puzzle. Am I right about that, Mike? Was this frame tray puzzle or was this box art? No, this is for the lid.
This is box.
This is box lid art, but also then the puzzle had the same image.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, that's perfect. Who wouldn't want to hang that on their wall? That's awesome. Drive-ins are still popular in the future. That's all that matters to me. I can still get a burger, unless you're not using roller skates, but to bring out my meal. But that's all right. Let me see here. My window got minimized. There we go. Bring it back up. Okay. We got a few more here. So where are we going to from here? This is Doonesbury. Trudeau. Signed by Hunter Thompson.
Yeah, Mike, you want to speak on this because this isn't just Doonesbury. This is Doonesbury, to the next level.
Yeah, this basically the character you see here is Hunter S. Thompson, for all intents and purposes. The way that this went down is a pretty interesting story. They had the bear with me one moment here. I want to make sure I'm getting the right name of this. Hunter S. Thompson was on the advisory board for the NORML, NORML, the National Organization for the Reform of Marijuana Laws. Very surprising that Hunter S. Thompson was a part of that. You know how he was.
Mm-hmm.
But they had him at this this fundraising auction where they sold this art. He was whisked off the stage because he was going on and on and on in Hunter S. Thompson fashion, and was asked to sign this piece. He actually signed it twice. Kind of light, but nice little humorous note that he wrote big and bold, "Beware" at the top. And he added a November 33rd, 1978 date on it. Another nice little Hunter S. Thompson.
Oh, there it is. Yep.
Yeah, it's a little faded. Unfortunately, they had it signed in ballpoint, but yeah.
It looks a little better in person than it does.
Yeah.
Well, Doonesbury was always a fun read. Number one Marvel fan. Yeah, as a youngster, there was a lot of it that was over my head too, but I read it just the same. Didn't matter.
Good
Was
old Uncle Duke.
Yep. Yeah. Well, it was like getting political cartoons in the in the strips, which was not too normal. Now didn't you have a few of these in the last couple auctions, or maybe it was just the last one? Some of these Transformer artworks, or
Yeah, I believe that was back
missing?
in November.
Was it okay? Yeah. All right.
Yeah, but this is different, right? This is card art versus. Or did we have card art then too?
I think we had both, but this is
Yeah.
this is poster card art
Okay.
or
It was,
packaging.
it was also G2 card. It's crazy. Incredible to find transform anything
Yeah.
80s. This is technically 1990, but essentially it's an 80s toy line. It's wow. Having the
Derek is a big Transformers fan, so he knows his Transformers too.
yeah.
So if you are a Transformers fan, we have some this time. Stay tuned for July and beyond because we just took in just shy of 200 vintage Transformers, many rare, many factory sealed, and they're headed to AFA right now for grading.
Definitely more than meets the eye. Just wait.
Well, it's an awesome piece, and it looks like airbrushed, at least parts of it, maybe just for effect, but very cool.
plus that's a Super Soaker he's holding, so that's super 90s.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. A couple bids on it already. And is this the only piece like this that you have? I remember.
I think,
like
we only have one Transformers art. We'll show it next. We do have multiple pieces of art for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles this time.
Okay,
We also have some for Silverhawks as well.
that's awesome. That is so cool. Now, what is this? Stretch Turtles alternate.
Yeah, so this was their version of Stretch Armstrong.
Yep. I love it. That is so cool.
This is packaging art, right, Mike? This was used on.
Well, a slightly altered version was used for the packaging. Just some different coloring, some different composition. But yeah, it's pretty much the same in design, how they were doing it. Just a little different in presentation.
But all Turtles art for the toy line rarely comes up for sale.
Yeah, that's fun. Oh man. Yeah, that's cool. You mentioned who the artist is on it. I forget by illustrator Dirk J. Wunderlich.
Yeah, thankfully this one had the artist's created label on the back of it that track down and verify that it was by him. Just oozing with charisma.
Definitely.
Somebody get back on that mute.
Yeah, you're the only one. This is your show. You're the one that can tell the jokes here, right?
Correct.
Nobody else. Whenever I go to my my father-in-law's house, if I ever try to tell a joke or say anything funny, he's like, "I tell the jokes around here, Bill. Just shut your mouth."
Sorry, I thought the ooze one was on my approved list of jokes that Alex gave me earlier today.
I X'd every one of those out. You know that.
Sorry. Well, at least we all know now that you submit all this stuff in advance. But yeah. So what do we got here? It looks like it's kind of a jam piece. We got Lance Schultz. You got Aragones in there, Brand Anderson, and we even got Gumby, man. Damn it.
Yeah, we've had some of these in the past that they all come from one collection that were jam pieces done on comic backer boards, but all have varied. They all had different configurations of cartoonists. Many of them were the creator of the character they drew, and we've been submitting them to PSA to not only authenticate but also to encapsulate.
Oh, that's cool. They must have gone to a lot of those like back in the day. They had a lot of those get-togethers with comic strip illustrators. So this must have been somebody who was a volunteer or something along those lines, or was one of the organizers. So they got lucky enough to be able to get jam pieces done. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And Schultz is, always the key on these things. Although we did have one that was the first one we offered, I think, was Schultz and Kane, Batman, right? So there's, but he particularly liked Schultz, and fortunately had him do multiple sketches like this. So almost every one of these jam pieces that we have has a Schultz with others.
Mm-hmm.
That's a banger. Like, every single one of those guys and every single character is well known. Like sometimes you get a jam piece, like who's this? And it's a forgotten character or whatever. These are all well known.
Yeah, I like it. So you got to get some bids on that one already. So 3 bids, 660. All right. I think we're gonna get it. We're moving out of the art.
Yeah. So I only put in, I think I have 4 non-art pieces, but things I thought hopefully people would find interesting. None more so than this. And if you say I've never seen or heard of this before, I would say it doesn't surprise me, because this is incredibly rare. This is a vending machine for comic books, and this only was available in the late 60s. It kind of came and went. It didn't go over big, but you could actually go up and put your money in, put your coins in, and get a comic book. Like you did a deep dive on this. If you want to add anything to it.
Yeah, these were really only it was more prevalently seen in the Midwest. But like you said, it would be like in a movie theater or a drugstore or convenience store that didn't have space for racks to put comics in. But yeah, it's what's really, really cool about this piece is this is fresh from the case. We have the original shipping carton for it as well.
That's awesome.
we took it out of the box. I mean, the box is beat, but it's you're not going to find a nicer example than this. I mean, it's rare and in choice condition.
Yeah, there's only a handful of these known, and we had a friend who was heavy into vending machines, and there's a paperback vending machine that's rare, but not nearly as rare as this. So yeah, to find it at all is incredible, and the few that are out there have wear. This really is. We unboxed this. This is as good as it gets. It's like the day it was made.
That's crazy. Well, as soon as comics went to like 15 cents, this thing was obsolete.
Yeah,
but
there's at least one example we know of that was retooled to take a nickel.
Okay.
You can see here it's a dime and 2 pennies, 2 slots you put it in. We know of at least one that was retooled for the 15-cent price change.
But if you show that photo again of Maddie, that's our photographer, graphic designer, that's next to the machine. What's nice about this is it's not, you would think this is a vending machine the size of a soda machine or a snack machine. It isn't. It's not small, but it's much more manageable. So if you have a smaller display room or comic book room, collectibles room, this would fit in nicely. It would not take up a great deal of space, but it would absolutely get everyone's attention.
Yeah, 12-year-old.
Does it still work? Can you still put 12 cents in and pull the lever?
I mean, that's one thing we didn't mess with the test, but I don't see why it wouldn't work.
Yeah, fresh out of the box. I don't think. I mean, there's no rust on it. It's clean on the inside. I mean, it works very similar to how the old cigarette machines did back in the 70s and 80s. For those of us that remember cigarette machines.
There you go.
That's
the
awesome.
original box packaging. You got it from the back side. That's awesome. That is really cool. I've never seen one ever.
Stingray, I've only ever seen
first we've seen in person. So,
well, $2,200 is the high bid on it right now. Yeah, it's not something you can really put a knowledgeable range on when they just haven't come up before. That's great.
No, and proceeds from the consigners donate proceeds to the Graf Dairy Hero Foundation, GDHF. If you're looking at it, it's a pretty cool project that they have that's aimed at kids kind of learning about the importance of comics and superheroes and translating into, today's world. And it's a very, very positive message that they're getting out. And they now have an actual museum set up that you can go, and they have pinball machines you can play, and they have collectibles, and it's pretty cool.
Huh. I'm gonna save this tab and look at it later.
Yeah.
Interesting. I've not heard of that. Yeah.
It was just happened this year.
Interesting. All right, cool. Well, I hope it does really well.
I think it will.
All right, now what is this? Previously unknown variety of Superman secret chamber rings.
So everyone's familiar with Action Comics #1, and everyone's familiar with original art from Superman comic books. This ring is rarer than all of that. I mean, they did several different premium rings in 1940 and 41 for Superman. This one is a secret chamber ring in which the front has that eyeball and the initial of a dairy who would have issued this. You remove that top piece, and inside is this sticker of Superman. There's a version that has Superman on the top of the piece and then blank inside. So each were obtained different ways. But the main thing is that the dairy company would put their initial on this ring. And Hake's has been around since 1967. I've never seen that. Ted has never seen that. Bob Overstreet, who did the premium ring price guides, has never seen this version. There are other initials, A, B, D, E, L, R, and W, have all been cataloged in the past. This is the first ever anyone has seen of letter H, which to me is unbelievable that after all this time, we have not seen another of this. So to me, that means that whatever dairy put this out was very small, regional, and they just don't exist. So the story behind this is this was not even a kid that got this. It was this person's who consigned it, their grandparents, and the wife knew the husband was a Superman fan, so she got the bottle caps and the 10 cents that was needed, sent it in to the dairy, and got this ring for her husband. And I guess he said, "Oh, that's nice," and kind of laughed and put it in a drawer. And then it was just unearthed, and it is in unbelievable condition. All the gold luster is there. That sticker on the back always has a wear. So not only is it first known variety, it is as high grade as any of the couple dozen of this ring that are known to exist of any of the different initials. So if you are a Superman fan and want to branch out from art or comics, this is an absolute must and great place to start, because it is as rare as any Superman ring as we've ever offered in our 58 years.
Marcus made a guess, but I do not believe it was the Hake Dairy.
I like that.
Yep.
I like that.
Marcus is quick on those things, but yeah. So what do you got? You're at 12.10 right now, and again, it's hard to kind of well, at least you have other rings to kind of base pricing off of.
We're sort of going by the other initial rings in the general vicinity that they sell for $2,000 to $5,000 depending on condition, but this could easily exceed the high end of that estimate because of the rarity and the condition. So we'll see. We're conservative on it, and we'll see where it goes.
All right, now what do we got? Toy Biz Thanos first shot prototype.
Mike, you want to do this one?
Yeah, this was from the Fantastic Four, Toy Biz's Fantastic Four series. Toy Biz was the king of Marvel toys in the 90s, and they made toys for characters so like D and E, F, G levels that you're like, why was this toy made? But in this instance, very well-known character, very important character, even though he saw very limited time in the cartoons, but of that era. But yeah, this is the prototype, the first shot, basically cast in the plastic to see how everything fit together, how it would look, how for scale. Yeah, this is I figure fourth Thanos from the Toy Biz.
Yeah. So if you want a pre-production Thanos action figure, they're few and far between. So this was definitely the one to go for.
Very cool. So toy collectors, I'm assuming Mike knows a thing or two about exactly. Wait, you have to go.
A few action figures here.
Yeah, you've got a couple on the shelf. Amazing. I don't even know why you put books and stuff up there. You should just
it's a very detailed process of getting a book out to read. Hope nothing gets knocked over.
Right. All right. Well, we have one more item to look at here. What is? And is this it's a Ninja Turtle, something hand painted. So somebody was a fan of Michael Jordan, clearly.
Yeah, just trying to capitalize. The Turtles were hot as anything in the '90s, and so was Michael Jordan and the Bulls. So I mean, much to Alex's chagrin, when it comes to basketball, he doesn't want to hear any other team than the Lakers. But the Bulls were hot in the '90s. Very clearly inspired this toy by the jersey color and the jersey number. But this is, I believe, one of four or five known prototypes of the giant-sized turtles. This thing is 14 inches tall. You see there's a photo with a normal-sized turtle, which we also have the prototype for this auction. That's the normal 4.5-inch tall turtle. That's the giant size one.
Yeah.
These do not turn up. So.
And it is hand painted. So again, it's an original art adjacent, because it is a one of a kind for this particular one. Yeah.
Very cool piece.
It's a toy color guide.
Essentially, sure. Yeah. Yeah, and if you're into turtles at all, check out that section, because we do have other prototypes and art and first shots and pretty nice assortment of stuff that came in for this auction for the action figure section.
Very cool. And it has interest already. So fun.
And again, this is another one that John did a fantastic video of. So check out the online listing, and you can watch the video.
Yeah, and this example was featured in the really cool turtle toy book called Rad Plastic.
I was just going to see, I'm going to put the link to your guys' YouTube channel in the chat so people can get over there and like and subscribe, so that they can get view these in their leisure in the lead up to the show. But also, if you follow them and turn on notifications, everybody knows how to do that, right? See, I wonder if I'm subscribed. Okay, but see, when this is what you got to do on CAF too, everybody, on that Comic Art Live channel. Subscribing is never enough. If you gotta, they always say ring the bell. I think Barucci says that all the time. So you gotta actually hit the all. So when the subscribed is shown and it's got the little vibration graphic on it, you know that you're subscribed to get any notification when they're going live or posting stuff. So do that, and he'll be happy. And do that on our channel too.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, and as Alex said, we've got more in the works.
Mm-hmm.
Fun stuff coming down the road.
Yep.
And you changed out the header on your YouTube channel to have the current auction set of things too. I haven't changed the header on ours in 5 years or longer. So it just reminds me I got to change things. But so we got 9 days until the auction. They begin at 9, start closing right at 9 p.m. on Wednesday, right?
Yeah, Tuesday for the historical, political, baseball, sports. Wednesday, 9 p.m. for comic art, comic books, action figures, entertainment stuff.
Very good. Well, I'll be looking forward to seeing that. I'm going to go through the lots and just see if there's anything I missed there, because you always do have some interesting stuff. I've seen there's always something of interest to bid on. But Mike, it was very nice meeting you. Don't be a stranger. You can always fill in for Todd anytime, or Sean.
Todd who?
Todd who, right?
No, I just want to say real quick. Also, hopefully, we'll do a wrap up show and go over what some of the stuff sells
Yeah.
for. And at that time, we are fortunate, like I said, having some stuff early is always good. We will have some pieces of art that are fairly spectacular. So right off the bat, we can go over those results, and we're going to give you a taste of what's coming up in July. And that stuff will be on display at San Diego Comic-Con. And if you're thinking of going to that convention and you want to see your items there and you're looking also to sell, contact us. We're looking for consignments right now already for the July auction to set all of that up.
Perfect. I'm still undecided if I'm going, Alex, but I'm hoping to.
I have decided I'm not going. That's an easy decision for me.
I know. If you go anywhere, it will be OAX in 2026. I know that.
Yep. That's a fact.
Hey, it's only going to be bigger next year. We've got lots of things that we'll be able to be talking about in the next few months. But yes, please, everybody, head over to hakes.com if you haven't already. And you guys have a mailing list. People can sign up for it over there as well.
Yep.
And we send out PR mailings every now and again, but it's always best to kind of get them straight from Hakes if you can do that. So I'd encourage everybody to do that as well. And these guys are easy to get in touch with through the website. And to ask them anything about how the bidding process is, consigning, all that good stuff.
But follow us on all our social media, because we're always updating that with previews and sneak peeks and all that stuff. So Twitter and Facebook and Instagram, we got John trying to cover it all for us. So
that's true. And you're on CAF, and so premium members can watch your CAF gallery. That's the other way to kind of stay on top of any of the new and listings and things that you want to promote. Always get promoted through CAF as well. So for anybody who's
and along those lines, we don't wait till just the auction comes up. As Mike does descriptions, and we proof those. That's handed off to either Teresa or Josiah, and they put it up on CAF right away. So we kind of try and build that as the art comes in and gets cataloged. Mm-hmm. And then obviously, once the auction is live, we make sure every single piece is up. But we will be putting some stuff up early. As soon as this auction ends, we'll have previews there as well.
All right, awesome. Well, Big Phil just noticed we all had green on tonight. Well, that's because we were small. But by the time you got here, Phil, we were all in a smaller format. But yes, it is St. Patrick's Day. I didn't have any green beer, but yeah, we all decided. But I did have a Zevia, ginger ale Zevia in green. So yeah, we wanted to be a little festive tonight. But thanks everybody for hanging out with us this evening. We appreciate it. Check out Hakes, check out CAF. You know the routine. But again, guys, thanks as always. It's always fun getting to hang out with you. And yeah, we'll do a recap when the dust settles after the auction.
All right, sounds good, man. Always appreciate it, my man.
Thanks for everybody.
All right, everybody. Have a good night.